What's up, YouTube? How we doing today? It's your boy Dustin. I know, crazy to see me, right? Back here with another YouTube video. I hope you guys are all healthy. I hope you're staying safe. And I hope you don't get this COVID-19, because I'm going to share my story with you guys today on what happened, what my symptoms were, how things are going for me right now, and I'm just going to give you guys an update on kind of my experience with COVID-19. By the way, before this video starts, I just wanted to let you guys know very quickly that I live stream on an app called YouNow, younow.com/Dustin Stortzum. You can use the web browser version, or if you're on mobile, you can download the app YouNow today and watch me on live every single night in between 7:30 and 9:30, depending on what my work schedule is looking like. And then also, I have a TikTok account, I've got Instagram, all that. Everything is at Dustin Stortzum. I will link it all in the description below. So anyways, it all started with me making ramen noodles, actually. It's actually a funny story. So I was making ramen noodles, and I use this extra seasoning. I also use the seasoning in the package, which this is going to be a completely different video that I'll make later on about how to make ramen noodles, because a lot of you guys are not making it right, I've noticed. But I was making these ramen noodles, and I use an extra seasoning called Creole. If any of you guys know what Creole is, it's absolutely amazing. My dad and I literally use it for everything. And I went to like put it on my ramen noodles, and I noticed that I couldn't smell it. I noticed that I couldn't smell anything. And this was like the first thing I was going to eat all day. It was like at lunchtime. And so like I put this Creole on, and I'm like, that's weird. That's weird that I can't smell anything. So I put it on, and then I go to taste, and there's no taste. I have nothing. And I was like kind of stuffed up that day, but I just thought I had a cold, right? So I'm like, okay, this is like weird. I can feel like it's hot in my mouth, right? It's hot in my mouth. I can feel that, but I can't taste it. I can't taste the seasoning. I can't taste anything. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. And you know, obviously like I'm by myself, whatever. So then I go to taste something else, because I'm like, this is like, I've never had this experience before in my entire life where I literally could not taste anything. So I think I took a piece of cheese out of the fridge, and I tasted that, and I'm like, oh my God, like I have no taste at all. And I know that one of the main symptoms of COVID-19 is that you don't have any smell or any taste. So I can't smell, I can't taste. I still thought it was just a cold, because I was literally so stuffed up, like I could barely smell, or I could barely like breathe out of my nose. And, you know, the next day comes around, and I have a fever. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm gone. I was like, I'm a goner. I have high blood pressure. I just have terrible anxiety. So I'm like, I'm dead. Like, I'm a goner. I'm like, see ya, boys. See you later. It's been fun making one YouTube video every 4 months. No, but in all reality, it was so crazy. And it's such a weird experience that I don't want any of you guys to have, because COVID-19 is not a fun thing to get. But anyway, so I went and got tested, and I remember calling them, and they were like, okay, it's going to be an hour before we can get you in, right? So I'm waiting in the parking lot, you know, I'm freaking out, because I'm like, oh my gosh, if I'm positive, I'm gonna die, you know, this sucks, blah, yada, 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 yada. And I'm like coming to peace with death in my car. COVID. Anyways, so I go in, and I'm nervous already. Like I said, I have really bad anxiety. So already I'm like, they're gonna shove this thing all the way up, you know, to my brain, to my noggin, and it's gonna hurt. And so like I'm bracing for it, and the lady's like, oh no, I'm just gonna like barely stick it in your nose. And I'm like, wait, really? She goes, yeah, like the rapid test, like you just like barely stick it in your nose. It's, you know, it's like getting a little boogie out, you know what I'm saying? And so she like barely sticks it in, and I still flinch. I still like, I go like this, I like tense up, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, like I didn't mean to scare you. I was like, no, I was just thinking that you were joking about, you know, like barely putting it in my nose. So I'm sitting there waiting for the results, and the doctor comes in, and she goes, I'm gonna let you guess if you think you're positive or not. And I'm like, I'm positive. And she's like, yeah, you're positive. And so I'm like, oh God, no. She goes, lucky for you, if the majority of people who lose their sense of smell and taste typically have a mild case of COVID, which is great for me, right? Like, this is great. This is great news. And the day after I got tested, I had no other symptom. I had no fever. I still didn't have my smell or taste, and I did not have my smell or taste for 14 days. So I'm just now starting to get it back. And honestly, it put me into like a really bad depression for a little while because, you know, I was really nervous that I would never be able to smell anything again. I never thought I'd be able to taste a good, you know, steak dinner or a cheeseburger plain, you know what I'm saying? And so I honestly like got into like this very bad depression. I never did lose my appetite. A lot of people say that they lose their appetite, but I didn't. It's just a crazy experience to go through. COVID is so weird. COVID is such a strange virus. You know, everybody, it seems like, has different symptoms. And that's the most crazy thing about this. And so I'm very fortunate enough that I'm getting my smell back and I have my taste back completely now. I'm still getting my smell back. Ever since I've got COVID, which has been, what, like 3 weeks now? 3 or 4 weeks. I've been stuffed up. Like I feel like I'm just stuffed up here. This is gonna be like kind of nasty, but I threw up. What was it? Like on Sunday, I threw up. And it was just like mucus. It's kind of gross. Like I was completely all the way stuffed up here. I can still feel it. Like I'm like trying to rub it out as we speak. But no, that's my experiences with COVID. If you guys have any experiences with COVID, please share them down below. I'd love to read some of your guys' stories. And please be safe. Please social distance. Wear your mask at all times when you can. You know, in public, whatever. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please make sure to slap a like. Comment down below if you guys had the similar symptoms as me or if you had worse symptoms or whatever. And make sure you guys subscribe right now. Turn on those post notifications so you know when I will post again. Who knows? I'm so random with this stuff that I don't know when I'm going to post, but I will post. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.